A young man stumbled upon an unusual system, the shake system. Every single day he could roll a die to re-roll his attributes. But for 11 years straight, all he ever rolled were garbage stats. Sometimes it was the kind of trash you wouldn't touch in 1,000 years. Sometimes even worse. 10 millennia's worth of useless junk. After so long, he'd grown numb to it. He made a promise to himself. He wouldn't start cultivating until he rolled something extraordinary. This morning, like always, he rolled again. And, once again, the result? A spiritual root so worthless, it might as well not exist. Furious, he coughed up blood. Fed up, he decided to shake his innate destiny instead. And then, bam! A flash of golden light shot through the air. He had done it. He rolled a legendary tier destiny with 4 top-level traits: unmatched charm, elite sword talent, insane agility, and a perk that would grant him a peerless cultivation technique, along with 1,000 high-grade spirit stones when the game of life began. He lay there in shock, then burst into wild laughter. This changes everything. From now on, I'll just keep shaking until I hit a top-tier spiritual root. Even if it takes me until I am 40, so what? With this destiny, I'll have my place in the cultivation world. His name was Hanju. His parents had been servants under Elder Iron, an alchemist from the J Pure Sex Outer Division. Their job? Tending to spirit herbs. But when Hanju was just 6, they abandoned him and ran off. Since then, he took over their duties in the Medicine Valley. 2 years ago, 2 intersect cultivators suddenly showed up. Elder Iron was off handling some business, so the sect had sent them to guard the place. Still, Hanju hadn't rolled a single good spiritual root. Not one. My luck's cursed, he muttered. At this rate, I'll die shaking this stupid dice without ever getting a decent root. One day, Elder Iron finally returned and gathered everyone. You've all done well while I was gone, he said. No major issues. I'm proud of you. Everyone bowed their heads, pretending to be touched. It's our duty, Master Iron. We're honored to serve. Hanju rolled his eyes. Give me a break. Bootlickers. You can flatter him all you want. He's not giving out any rewards. But then, something unexpected happened. Elder Iron called Hanju and 3 others forward for a spiritual root check. Hanju was stunned. Wait, didn't he ban servants from cultivating? Why the sudden change? Then he saw it. Bloodstains on Elder Iron's robes. The old man was hurt. Lucky for Hanju, he still hadn't rolled a good root yet. The next kid checked. A chubby boy actually had a spiritual root. Elder Iron's eyes lit up. I'd like to take you in as my disciple. Come with me beyond the valley and begin your cultivation, he said. The boy nearly cried from joy. Yes, thank you, master. But Hanju knew the truth. That kid might never return. The world out there was brutal. I've got to get serious, Hanju thought. I need a spiritual root, fast. 3 more years slipped by. Then, one night, a strange sound echoed through the valley, a pig-like screech of laughter coming from Hanju's room. He had finally done it. He'd rolled a top-tier spiritual root, one with 6 attributes. Trembling with excitement, he was just about to start cultivating with the system when suddenly, Hanju's thoughts drifted to Elder Iron, that conniving fossil. The chubby kid he took? Never seen again. Probably long gone. Dead even. If that old man finds out I've started cultivating, things could turn ugly. Right then, the system chimed in with a sudden alert. You may now select a secluded spot. The system will generate a protective barrier. No cultivator outside will detect any activity within. Hanju lit up. A barrier? That changed everything. All right then. From this day on, I, Hanju, officially step onto the cultivation path. System, begin. The next second, his surroundings shifted. He was transported into the system's inner space. Options shimmered into view. Congratulations! You've awakened the Immortal Emperor's inheritance and obtained the unmatched technique. 6 realms of reincarnation. Now, select your primary cultivation path. Hanju guessed that mastering the 6 realms meant cultivating all 6 spiritual roots. Without hesitation, he chose Sword Cultivator as his main path. Spiritual energy surged around him, funneling into his body. Strength filled every part of him, and then something new appeared. A relationship panel. Curious, he opened it. Elder Iron, relationship. Hatred. Hanju clenched his jaw. You old scumbag, I slaved away planting herbs for you all these years, and you still hate me? But after a moment, he cooled off. Maybe he's still bitter about my parents running off. Either way, he's been gone for years. That's fine. I can finally train in peace. With his mind steady, Han Jue began his cultivation. He sensed the elements of wind, earth, wood, and water surrounding him. But oddly, there was no trace of fire or thunder energy. No problem, he thought. I'll master these four first. Suddenly, the system popped up with two new options. Gain a magic tool for the energy cultivation realm. Unlock concealment for your cultivation level and spiritual root. Hanju didn't even hesitate. The ability to hide my power? Now that's smart. He picked the second option. Time flew. 2 years passed. Hanju had pushed his cultivation of the four elements to the 7th level of the energy cultivation realm. Everything was going smoothly until trouble showed up, uninvited. Just as he was about to return from training, an inner sect disciple named Xing Hongxuan stopped him. Come with me, she said, turning toward a nearby forest. Hanju blinked. I don't even know this woman. Why is she calling me into the woods? He instantly pulled up his relationship panel again. Xing Hongxuan, Goodwill, 2 stars? Wait, could it be? Does she want to dual cultivate? Should I accept? Or accept? While Hanju was getting a little too hopeful, Xing Hongxuan dropped the bomb. Help me steal Elder Iron's alchemy recipe. Do that, and I'll take you out of the Jade Pure sect and into the demon cult. If you prove talented enough, I might even make you my cultivation partner. Hanju froze. What the hell? She's with the demon cult? Panic set in. If I betray the Jade Pure sect, I'll be hunted to the ends of the world. If I say no, she'll definitely kill me to shut me up. Hanju's mind raced. We're both at the 7th level of the energy cultivation realm, but I haven't learned a single spell. I can't fight her head on. Quickly, he spoke up. I don't even know where the alchemy recipe is. Besides, there's another sect member guarding the attic. But Xing Hongxuan didn't care. She shoved him down with ease. It's in the attic, she said coldly. And don't worry about the other guy. I'll handle the distraction. She pulled out a pitch-black alchemy. This'll activate your spiritual root. Before Hanju could react, she forced it into his mouth. As soon as he got back to his room, he had the system purge the alchemy from his body. No way was he letting some demon cult alchemy change him. While he debated what to do next, the system window popped up with 2 options. Option 1, steal the recipe, earn Xing Hongxuan's favor, and gain a 5-star hatred level from the Jade Pure sect. Option 2, refuse, sabotage her plan, and unlock the sword technique, Supreme Finger Divine Sword. Hanju didn't even blink. He picked the second option. That night, while Hanju was quietly cultivating, Xing Hongxuan's voice came from outside his window. I confirmed the recipes in the study. I'll draw the attic guard away. Your job is to sneak in and grab it. But listen up. There's a formation protecting the attic. If anything goes wrong, Elder Iron will come flying back, so move fast. Soon after, Hanju slipped into the attic, undetected. As promised, no one was around. He entered the study, pretending to search. He poked around aimlessly, dragging his feet. Yeah, right, this place is huge. Like I'd actually find anything in this mess. If that psycho really wanted the recipe, she could have done it herself. Instead, she's dragging me into this circus. Must be nuts. He glanced at the lavish room. Everything in here screams money. Even Elder Iron's pens are gold. Meanwhile, we medicine slaves scrape by on nothing. These rich bastards. Suddenly, Xing Hongxuan appeared behind him. What are you muttering about? Did you find it? She noticed Hanju wasn't really trying and narrowed her eyes. Her killing intent flared. Terrified, Hanju backed up and accidentally bumped into a cabinet. A vase tumbled off and shattered. And just like that, the alchemy recipe popped out. Hanju froze. You've got to be kidding me. What kind of idiot hides something like that behind a vase? I'm dead. Now that she's got what she wants, she's going to kill me. But instead of attacking, Xing Hongxuan threw her arms around him in excitement. You really are my lucky charm, she squealed. What a magical moment. Hanju stood there, speechless. This woman's insane. But he hadn't forgotten the system's deal. If she takes that recipe, I lose a Supreme Finger Divine Sword. I can't let that happen. Quietly, he picked up a brick, preparing to knock her out from behind. But just as he moved, a powerful force blasted them both across the room. Hanju hit the ground hard. The alchemy recipe flew into the air, right into the hands of the last person he wanted to see, Elder Iron. "You dare go after my alchemy recipe?" The old man's voice boomed. "You've got some nerve." Knowing she was no match, Xing Hongshuan didn't even try to fight. She turned and ran without looking back. When Hanju finally came to and saw Elder Iron standing there, he didn't miss a beat. "Master, you made it just in time. I nearly lost my life stalling that witch." Elder Iron narrowed his eyes. "Explain everything, now." Hanju laid it all out, every detail. Surprisingly, Elder Iron didn't press him or make things hard. That was all Hanju needed to hear. Without waiting around, he slipped away like a ghost in the night. Just then, the system chimed in. "Mission complete. You've successfully obtained the Supreme Finger Divine Sword." 2 more years rolled by. By now, Hanju had pushed all 4 of his spiritual roots to the 9th level of the energy cultivation realm. Only fire and lightning remained. Once those hit 9th level too, he'd break through to foundation establishment. It was time. At twilight, he packed his things and left the only home he'd ever known, 20 years of his life behind him. He walked straight to the gates of the Jade Pure Sect. "My name is Hanju. I'm a rogue cultivator at the 9th level of the energy cultivation realm. I wish to join your sect. Is there a way?" The gatekeeper was about to pass the message along when the outer sect steward, Yang Luo, happened to walk by. Curious, he asked Hanju to demonstrate his strength. Hanju raised a hand, casually unleashed a move from the Supreme Finger Divine Sword, and sliced the top clean off a distant mountain. The 3 of them were speechless. Yang Luo didn't hesitate. "Follow me." On the way, Hanju asked, "Does the Jade Pure Sect have a place for cultivating lightning and fire spiritual energy?" Yang Luo flinched slightly. "Lightning root? Could he have one?" he replied. "The inner sect might, but entry requires reaching foundation establishment. That said, if you're really a lightning spiritual root, you might just get a pass straight into the inner sect." Hanju didn't waste time. He revealed his lightning spiritual root on the spot. Yang Luo was stunned. He immediately took Hanju to see an elder. When Hanju casually displayed 3 different spiritual roots, the elder barely hid his shock. Just like that, Hanju was welcomed into the inner sect. No tests, no questions. He even received a luxury welcome package. Both the elder and Yang Luo instructed him to rest for now. They'd bring him to the inner sect once the great elder returned. Hanju exhaled. "Well, looks like I've accidentally become someone important." While waiting, he discovered that fire spiritual energy was abundant in the area. He didn't hesitate. He dove straight into cultivation. Half a year passed in a blink. One morning, Yang Luo returned, announcing the great elder's arrival. When he opened Hanju's door, he was stunned. Hanju had been cultivating non-stop for 6 straight months. And when Hanju finally opened his eyes, his fire spiritual root had already reached the 4th level. They left together to meet the great elder. The elder wasted no time. There are 18 peaks in the Jade Pure Sect. Each one has a teaching elder. If one of them takes a liking to you, you'll become an inner sect disciple immediately. If not, well, you'll need to reach foundation establishment quickly and enter the sect's minor competition. With that, they boarded a flying gourd, soaring toward the inner sect. Along the way, the great elder began introducing each of the 18 peaks and their respective masters to Hanju. Each of the 18 peaks had its own unique atmosphere, shaped by the temperament of its elder. Some were reserved and focused purely on cultivation. Others were constantly on the move, leading missions outside the sect. The great elder turned to Hanju. "So what kind of cultivation environment are you looking for?" Hanju thought for a moment before answering. "I prefer a quiet life, something low-key and dedicated to pure cultivation. I'm not into noise or standing in the spotlight." The great elder gave him a look, half amused, half approving, then chuckled. "Then, Jade Seclusion Peak is perfect for you. You'll fit right in." As they entered the inner sect, Hanju was stunned by the vastness of the landscape. He had always assumed the Jade Pure Sect was just a modest group, but what lay before him was on an entirely different level. While flying across the mountains, the great elder pointed out various important areas and landmarks. giving Hanju a brief overview of the intersect's layout. Eventually, they reached Jade Seclusion Peak. The entire mountain was calm, still, and elegant. The wind was soft, the air clear. It radiated a sense of peace. The teaching elder here, the great elder said, is Itsuan Fairy. Her cultivation level is deep and mysterious, and she prefers to stay in seclusion. This makes the peak especially quiet. On top of that, she doesn't tolerate romantic distractions among her disciples. Everyone here focuses strictly on their cultivation. Hanju's eyes lit up. This place is exactly what I've been looking for. Inside the main hall, the great elder introduced him to Zixuan Fairy. She looked at him and asked simply, Hanju, are you willing to dedicate yourself to cultivation, free from worldly distractions? Hanju was just about to respond when a voice interrupted from nearby. At last, a junior brother worth noticing has come to Jade Seclusion Peak. A young woman stepped forward. Hanju quickly glanced at his relationship panel. Chang Yue, goodwill. But instead of acknowledging her, Hanju turned to Shixuan Fairy and said firmly, unless ordered otherwise, I can remain in seclusion for 100 years without ever leaving the mountain. In an instant, Chang Yuer's goodwill dropped to a single star. Zixuan Fairy nodded slightly, then said, attack me. Without hesitation, Hanju unleashed all the spiritual power he had, condensing it into a blade of energy and sending it straight toward her like a bolt of lightning. But right before it hit her, it vanished. She looked at him calmly. Is that all you've got? Hanju nodded honestly. Yes, that's my only move so far. This sword technique is quite good, she said. You'll stay here at Jade Seclusion Peak from now on. As the great elder turned to leave, he gave Hanju a strange, knowing smile. But before Hanju could ponder what it meant, he caught Zixuan Fairy staring straight at him. Just as he was trying to figure out why, Chang Yue nudged him and whispered, she's waiting for you to pay your respects. Only then did it click. Hanju quickly dropped to one knee. Disciple Hanju pays respects to Master. May Master live forever. Zixuan Fairy blinked. Do you think I'm some empress? She sighed and turned to Chang Yue. Yue, take your junior brother to register with the inner sect and help him settle into a cave dwelling. Got it. Chang Yue said cheerfully, grabbing Hanju by the sleeve and practically dragging him away. As they walked, she turned to him with a grin. Need anything? Just come to me. Her gaze was so straightforward that Hanju had to look away. I wouldn't dare bother seeing your sister. But if you need anything, please don't hesitate to command your junior. That response made Chang Yue beam with joy. I've been stuck here for 5 years, and finally, a junior brother who looks good and talks right has arrived. I've hit the jackpot. I can't let him get away. Hanju noticed a look in his senior sister's eyes. It wasn't friendly. Her gaze was wild and greedy, like a wolf staring down its prey. A chill ran down his spine. This place is called Jade Seclusion Peak? More like Jade Danger Zone. Why are all the female disciples here so intense? Before he could think too much, Chang Yue had already arranged his cave dwelling. Conveniently, or maybe not so conveniently, it was located right next to hers. After she finally left, Hanju took a look around his new place. The interior was so refined and spacious, it felt more like a royal palace than a training spot. The inner sect really doesn't hold back. He opened his relationship panel again. His master, Zixuan Fairy, was listed as a nascent soul realm, level 3 cultivator. She's the most powerful person I've met so far. I absolutely have to stay close to her. The hierarchy of cultivation realms ran like this: Foundation Establishment, Golden Core, Nascent Soul. And beyond that? Only the Jade Pure Sect's founding ancestor had ever reached those heights. But he'd vanished years ago. Just as Hanju was about to start his training, the system suddenly popped up with a mission. Option 1, gain fame, lead Jade Seclusion Peak to become the strongest among all the peaks. Reward, an unmatched magical weapon. Downside, offend Zigan Fairy. Option 2, stay low-key, focus on training, and earn your master's approval. Reward, a rare agility technique. Hanju stared at the first option, speechless. Rising to the top of the sect sounds amazing, so why does that offend my master? This lady is seriously hard to figure out. Without realizing it, 3 more years slipped by. By now, Hanju had cultivated all his spiritual roots to the 9th level, except lightning. It was time. He sought out Zixuan Fairy. Master, I've brought both my wind and fire roots to the 9th level. Could you point me to a place where I can cultivate lightning energy? She blinked. You're trying to reach Foundation establishment with 3 types of spiritual energy? Before he could answer, she shut it down. Even mastering 1 is already difficult enough, and you want 3? You'll only invite a stronger heavenly tribulation. You'll fall behind in cultivation. It's not worth it. Hanju nodded politely. Makes sense. Everything comes with a price. But what Master doesn't know is, I have my own ways. He smiled faintly. Disciple is willing to devote all his time to cultivation. Six-Swan Fairy gave the faintest hint of a smile. There's a teleportation array in the inner sect. It leads to the Thunder Spirit Pool. Soon, Hanju arrived, and once again, the Jade Pure Sect shattered his expectations. I thought the Thunder Spirit Pool would be, what a pond. Before him stretched a vast, awe-inspiring lake, surging with energy and alive with flashes of lightning. I've really been living like a frog in a well. As he stood in awe, he noticed someone already cultivating near the water's edge, just one person in this entire massive space. While he was still looking around, a voice suddenly came from behind. A tree trunk twisted around, revealing a human face. Don't wander too far into the pool, it warned. You can only cultivate by the edge. If you walk in and get struck by lightning, well, that's on you. A sudden, miserable scream echoed through the entire Thunder Spirit Pool. Hanju blinked. Wait a second, did I just meet a tree demon? That's when it clicked. This wasn't just any training ground. The Jade Pure Sect had gone all out. Tree demons were renowned as cultivation catalysts. Even though this one looked kinda creepy, training near it would massively boost results. This place is perfect. Pumped up, Hanju shouted, I'll hit the 9th level within a year. The other person cultivating near the pool nearly fell over. Is this guy serious? That's not something a normal human would say. How arrogant can you get? But a year later, he was forced to eat his words. Hanju really did it. From 0 to 9th level lightning spiritual energy in just 1 year. Now, with all 6 spiritual roots perfected to the 9th level, Hanju had finally reached the great perfection stage of the energy cultivation realm. Purple lightning crackled and coiled around his body like a living dragon. He was ready. Time to break through to Foundation establishment. As he began the process, the blue-haired cultivator nearby looked up. Above, storm clouds began to form, thick and heavy with power. Purple lightning flickered across the sky, growing denser by the second. The man's expression changed. That lightning. This is a thunder tribulation? Just then, the tree demon emerged behind him. He's going for Foundation establishment here? Of all places? This pool amplifies thunder energy. He's gonna draw double the force of the tribulation. He turned to Hanju. You better run. It's already too late to save yourself. Everyone watching was convinced. Hanju was doomed. No preparation, no protection. No sane cultivator would trigger their tribulation in the Thunder Spirit Pool of all places. But then, something unbelievable happened. Instead of resisting the heavenly tribulation, Hanju absorbed it. He pulled the deadly lightning into his body, converting it into energy to forge his foundation. 2 years later, he had safely stepped into the 3rd level of the Foundation establishment realm. His lifespan now approached 200 years, all of it driven by one thing: Hanju's fear of death. While quietly savoring his progress, the system suddenly popped up again. Option 1, rise to fame in the Jade Pure Sect. Reward, the 9 Nether Thunder technique. Downside, gain the hatred of Six-Swan Fairy. Option 2, continue cultivating quietly, break through to Golden Core early. Reward, a supreme magical sword. Hanju stared blankly at the first one. Why does every famous path in this system make my master hate me? Just how much does she despise reputation? Right then, the blue-haired man who had been training nearby walked over. You must be the one they're calling Fuchu of Thunder Peak, right? Hanju asked. The man smiled. That's me. And you are? Hanju. As soon as Fuchu heard he was from Jade Seclusion Peak, his attitude shifted. A Jade Seclusion Peak disciple? That's a waste of your talent. Why don't you come to Thunder Peak instead? My master is a thunder cultivator. You'd thrive there. Hanju didn't hesitate. I've already taken Six-Swan Fairy as my master. A master for a day is like a parent for life. I can't just change sides like that. Still, I appreciate your offer, Brother Imal. Suddenly, the system flashed with a new alert. Hanju checked it, and froze. Status update. Xing Hongshuan, severely wounded. Narrowly escaped death while being hunted by Jade Pure Sect. Status update. Xing Hongshuan, Ambushed by fellow sect members. Survived by counter-killing her attackers. System notification. Xing Hongshuan has betrayed the Azure Nether Demon sect and is now being hunted. Her goodwill toward you has increased. Current status. Hanju was stunned. She's still alive, after all these years? We haven't even spoken, let alone met again. Where did all this goodwill come from? Meanwhile, Xing Hongshuan was barely staying ahead of her pursuers. After finally shaking them off, she exhaled. At last, I'm free of the demon sect. Confused about where to go or who to trust, a memory resurfaced. Hanju. That moment, back when he almost hit her with a brick, only to end up blocking most of Elder Iron's attack. To her, that wasn't an accident. It was protection. The first time someone stood up for me. In her heart, that one act was enough. Hanju had become irreplaceable. To her, he was her man. Back at Jade's Seclusion Peak, Hanju was about to resume cultivating when he heard the sound of bells ringing through the mountain. Curious, he stepped out of his cave and ran into Chang Yuer. She explained, "That's Master's summons. All disciples to the main hall." The two leapt onto their swords and took off. By the time Hanju arrived, the hall was packed. His appearance immediately drew whispers and attention. People had heard of the rising talent from Jade's Seclusion Peak. Moments later, Zixuan Fairy appeared and addressed the room. As per the sect leader's decree, from today onward, the bottom 3 peaks in the 18 peaks ranking will send disciples to the front lines. Our enemy, the Azure Nether Demon sect, has grown bold, sending spies, stirring trouble. The time to retaliate is near. Hanju's face twitched. Sending the bottom 3 peaks? Isn't that just offering up cannon fodder? Just then, the eldest disciple, Liu Sanxin, stepped forward. Though we've always been low-key, Jade Seclusion Peak is still part of the Jade Pure sect. We're ready to serve. Also, Master, I've heard the sect is launching a new elite training program, selecting top disciples from every peak to form the next generation's core. Hanju perked up. Elite training? Sounds like it was made for me. But then, unexpectedly, Zixuan Fairy looked straight at Hanju. I choose Hanju. The entire hall went quiet. Liu Sanjin and Hanju both froze, cold sweat forming on their backs. Hanju quickly bowed. Master, your praise humbles me. But I only wish to focus on cultivating quietly at Jade Seclusion Peak. Please, allow my senior brothers and sisters to seize this opportunity. Is she testing me? Could she suspect I'm a demon sect spy? Better to play it safe and turn it down. Zixuan Fairy studied him for a moment, then nodded. Very well, Liu Sanxin, you'll go. As the eldest disciple, you must not fail. Afterward, Liu Sanxin sought out Hanju. Junior brother, thank you for what you said back there. I owe you one. If you ever run into trouble, just say the word. Hanju smiled. Then I wish you smooth success, elder brother. At that moment, Chang Yuer dashed over. Elder brother, no need to worry. I'll look after junior brother in your absence. Liu Sanxin caught the hint in her voice. He glanced at Hanju and smirked before turning to leave. As soon as he was gone, Chang Yuer turned to Hanju and grinned. Speaking of which, junior brother, you've been holed up cultivating for quite a while now. And you haven't done a single sect mission yet, have you? Chang Yuer asked, raising a brow. Want me to take you along next time? Missions are a great way to rack up cultivation resources. No need, senior sister, Hanju replied calmly. I've still got enough spirit stones to get by. Chang Yuer wasn't giving up that easily. But contribution points from missions can be exchanged for elixirs and artifacts. It's not just about money. Hanju waved a hand. I'm afraid of dying. So yeah, I'll pass. Chang Yuer's jaw dropped. You're a cultivator? How can you be afraid of death? Hanju looked her dead in the eye. If we weren't afraid of death, why would we cultivate for immortality in the first place? That shut her up. Even Zixuan Fairy, who happened to overhear the conversation, was caught off guard by his reply. He doesn't sound like a spy at all. More like a loose cultivator with top-tier talent and zero resource issues. Still, I'll keep watching a while longer. And just like that, 10 more years passed. Hanju returned to the Thunder Spirit Pool, stepping onto familiar ground. As soon as he arrived, the tree demon perked up. So, you're back. I thought you were a genius. But after all these years, still stuck at the 3rd level of Foundation establishment? Disappointing. Hanju scratched his head casually. Cultivation isn't a race. Takes time. What the demon didn't know, Hanju was only revealing his lightning spiritual root. The other 5? Already at 5th level foundation establishment. Just then, Mafuchu approached with a girl beside him. Hanju, this is my sister, Moju, he introduced. Moju eyed Hanju curiously. Still at the 3rd level? My brother said you might have hit the 6th by now. Hanju just grinned. I'm pacing myself. He sat down cross-legged and began cultivating. Spirit stones don't grow on trees, so I'm going to make the most of this. If you're planning to train too, just give me some space. As soon as he started, spiritual energy surged toward him like a whirlpool. Mafuchu's eyes widened. That speed? It's insane. Faster than mine, and I'm at the 9th level. He's hiding his true strength. This guy's cultivation level isn't lower than mine. He's just suppressing it. Hanju trained like this for another 8 years, eventually pushing his lightning power to 9th level perfection. As he packed up to leave, the tree demon piped up. Hey, I know of an opportunity. You could gain a ton of cultivation resources. Hanju raised an eyebrow. Is it dangerous? Every opportunity comes with risk, the tree demon replied cryptically. Hanju didn't hesitate. Nope, not interested. And with that, he turned and left. Later, as he was collecting his accumulated mission salary from the past few years, Moju caught up with him. I need a favor. There's this opportunity. Huge potential. Hanju didn't even blink. Sorry, I've got to get back to cultivating. And poof! He vanished in front of her before she could say another word. But as he passed through the Intersect grounds, he overheard disciples chattering about the upcoming Intersect competition. A bolt of panic hit him. Damn it! I've been so focused on cultivation, I completely forgot about that. If Master finds out, she'll kill me. He rushed straight to Zixuan Fairy to come clean. Thankfully, she didn't reprimand him. But when she saw that Hanju's apparent cultivation level was still at the 3rd level of foundation establishment, she couldn't help but frown slightly. Hanju explained calmly, I'm actually at the 9th level of foundation establishment. I've just been suppressing my cultivation to stay low profile. That one sentence changed everything. Zixuan Fairy's expression softened, her goodwill rising significantly. Moments later, the system dinged in Hanju's mind. Task complete. Cultivate low-key and gain recognition from Zixuan Fairy. Reward. Secret technique. 7-fold illusion step. As Hanju mentally stashed the reward away, something else caught his eye. A new face stood beside his master. He turned and froze. It was Elder Iron. At the exact same moment, Elder Iron looked up and locked eyes with Hanju. They both blurted out each other's names in stunned unison. Zhang Yuir blinked, confused. Wait, you two know each other? Zixuan Fairy, unaware of their past, casually said, This is a new disciple who just joined Jade Seclusion Peak. You may call him Junior Brother Iron. Neither of them responded. Their expressions said it all, color drained, tension rising. Just then, Zixuan Fairy's tone shifted to something more serious. Hanju, since you're so committed to cultivation, I have a mission for you. Please don't be what I think it is, Hanju thought. I want you to guard the 10,000 demon realm. Cold sweat instantly formed on Hanju's back. The name alone sounds terrifying. Before he could protest, Cheng Yuier lit up. Ooh, that's where the sect keeps its demon pets. Master, let me go with him. But Zixuan Fairy shut that down immediately. No, that place is extremely dangerous. Demon beasts rampage often. Some disciples have died horribly. You are not going. If Hanju wasn't scared before, he was now. So she really is just sending me to die, and she's not even pretending it's safe. But one look at his master's expression, and he knew there was no way out. So it's like being a zoo security guard, except the animals can and will eat you. Guess I'll just take it easy once I get there. He bowed respectfully. Understood? I'll follow Master's arrangement. Then he turned to go pack. Watching them leave, Zixuan Fairy said to Elder Iron, I won't dig into your past with Hanju. From now on, consider yourselves brothers. Working together will only benefit you. As long as there's no deep resentment, try to let it go. She paused, then added meaningfully, From what I've seen, Hanju isn't the scheming type. In the future, he'll be one of the direct disciples of Jade Seclusion Peak. Fast forward, a year and a half passed in the 10,000 demon realm. Hanju spent his days cultivating and patrolling. Out of sheer boredom one day, he opened up the system's social feed and was hit with a wave of alerts. Your friend Moju was attacked by a demon cultivator and narrowly escaped injury. Your friend Moju was ambushed by a Jade Pure Sect disciple and fell off a cliff. Hanju sighed deeply. Every time there's an opportunity, it ends in near death. She really needs to stop chasing these so-called chances and just take care of herself. Stretching, he got up and headed out for his usual patrol. As he strolled along the path, he spotted a small, adorable cat perched on a tree branch. Seemed harmless enough. He turned away, but in the blink of an eye, the cute cat transformed into a giant beast and lunged at him, claws gleaming. Its talons slashed clean through Hanju's body, only for him to dissolve into mist, the real Hanju. Hanju was already on the rooftop, having just unleashed the sevenfold illusion step. This technique creates an afterimage with each level, and at its peak, 7 illusions split from the user. Hanju now had 7 identical forms, rushing at the demon beast from every angle, trapping it in a circle of illusions. All the figures struck at once, unleashing waves of sword energy using the supreme finger divine sword. Only one body was real, but to the demon beast, it was impossible to tell. Confused and overwhelmed, it took heavy damage in seconds, and bolted. Hanju didn't bother chasing it. Something was off. Demon activity was becoming more frequent, more organized. Sensing something bigger at play, Hanju chose to report what he'd seen. Once the higher-ups in the sect were informed, they acted fast. A meeting was called. Speculation spread like wildfire. Someone in the upper ranks had to be a traitor. With the sect leader still missing, there was only one option: launch a full-scale investigation. 2 years passed. Hanju sat deep within a restricted formation in the 10,000 demon realm. To his surprise, the formation itself turned out to be a hidden treasure. Not even cultivators at the Golden Core realm could enter. Completely soundproof and sealed off, it was the perfect place to train, or just breathe. He was feeling rather pleased, until a voice suddenly echoed from behind. "Young friend, using the 10,000 demon realm to cultivate, are we?" Hanju replied without turning, "What else?" But as the words left his mouth, something clicked. He spun around in alarm, only to find a rotund man standing behind him. This guy was clearly unfazed by the formation's restrictions, which meant his power had to be above the Golden Core level. "I'm also from the Jade Pure sect," the man said casually, "sent here to guard the 10,000 demon realm. From your appearance, you look like a 3rd-level Foundation Establishment cultivator, but your breathing gives you away. You're at the 9th level, aren't you?" He raised a hand dismissively. "No need to panic. So tell me, did you come here alone, or did your master send you?" Hanju answered, "My master, Zixuan Fairy, sent me." The man leaned in, intrigued. "Oh? Then, did she assign you any specific mission?" "Even if she did," Hanju said sharply, "why would I tell you?" "Ah, so it's a secret? Got it. How cute. But let me give you a heads up." He grinned. "You're in some serious trouble, kid." Before Hanju could respond, his system popped up with a relationship chart, startling him. His closest tie? The sect leader of the Jade Pure sect, Li Qingzi, who apparently had a thing for Zixuan Fairy. Li Qingzi finally stepped in, explaining the deeper threat. Lately, demon beasts have been unusually restless. They're under the control of Demon King Tiger Heart White Dragon, a creature that never forgets a grudge and always strikes back. He lowered his voice. "A full-scale beast uprising is brewing, all orchestrated by Tiger Heart White Dragon. Now tell me, what did you do to provoke him?" But Hanju wasn't paying attention anymore. His mind raced, not with fear, but with rage. Images of Li Qingzi and his master, Zixuan Fairy, kept flashing in his head. That guy isn't worthy of her. "Junior friend," Li Qingzi said, trying to snap him out of it, "I asked you a question." Hanju finally recounted everything that had happened. Li Qingzi nodded slowly, deep in thought. "Strange, this uprising by the demon beasts." "Looks like the uprising came earlier than we expected," Li Qingzi said grimly. "This likely wasn't your doing. I'd wager the demon cult is pulling strings in the background. As for your run-in with Tiger Heart White Dragon, just a coincidence. Lucky for you, it must have exhausted too much spiritual energy. Otherwise, you'd be dead by now." He eyed Hanju carefully. "Tell me, what movement technique did you use to outrun a demon king?" Hanju replied offhandedly, "Just something I picked up along the way. It's quick, that's all." That answer drove Li Qingzi up the wall. "We're talking about a demon king here. Even Golden Core experts would have a hard time keeping up with it. And you just brushed it off?" He sighed, pushing aside his frustration. "Right now, the real issue is the beast uprising. We need to deal with the core of it." Hanju raised an eyebrow. You mean, kill it? Li Qingzi nodded. Hanju looked at him like he'd grown a second head. Senior, kill it? That Demon King's strength is terrifying. If we just eliminate it, who's going to pay the price for that power being lost? Li Qingzi smiled faintly. Maybe this is the opportunity your master had in mind when she sent you here. You've already survived a clash with a Demon King. That movement technique of yours, it's not ordinary. With skills like that, you're more than capable of making a name for yourself. I say, go tame the beast. Without a word, Hanjue turned and walked away. Find someone else, Senior. I came here to cultivate, not fight Demon Kings. Li Qingzi called out after him. Wait. If you succeed, I'll trap the Demon King with a formation. No need to fight it head-on. And if you can subdue it, I'll personally teach you the Jade Pure Sect's most guarded secret, the Jade Purity Art. At that moment, Hanju's system popped up with a choice. Option 1, accept the mission. Subdue Tiger Heart White Dragon. Gain Li Qingzi's secret technique. Draw the Demon King's hatred, and attract the attention of the Azure Nether Demon Sect. Option 2, refuse. Continue cultivating quietly. Receive a sword technique manual. But Li Qingzi's favorability will drop. Hanju considered the cost. Demon King's wrath, Demon Sect's gaze, and didn't hesitate. Sorry for the trouble, Senior. I'll be on my way. And just like that, he walked off, leaving Li Qingzi standing there, fuming. How in the world did my junior sister end up with such a stubborn disciple? With a heavy sigh, Li Qingzi turned to face the growing threat alone. I knew it. You're here, Demon King. I could sense you from the start. And then, battle erupted. Li Qingzi clashed fiercely with Tiger Heart White Dragon. Days passed. Then Chang Yuer arrived in the 10,000 Demon Realm, alongside the 7th senior brother of Jade's Seclusion Peak, Menghe. The two had been sent by Gizwan Fairy to support Hanju. Shortly after they arrived, Menghe set off alone to scout the area. Chang Yuer stayed behind with Hanju. This mission was Master's idea, she explained. She was worried about your safety. Word is, spies from the demon cult have already infiltrated this realm. We need to stay sharp. Hanju nodded and replied immediately. Then we should leave. No point in risking our lives here. Just as Chang Yuer was about to respond, Menghe stumbled back, battered and covered in wounds. I found a group of demon beasts near the cliffs, trapped in a formation, he said between heavy breaths. On my way back, I ran into a golden core demon beast. Hanju didn't waste a second. He pulled out an elixir and handed it to Menghe, watching him drink it down. You can't be careless outside, Hanju thought grimly. Menghe's condition proves it. And right then, they saw something that made their blood run cold. A thunderous rumble shook the ground. A massive horde of demon beasts was charging straight at them. Hanju instinctively prepared to run, but Chang Yuer stopped him. This area falls under Jade Seclusion Peak's responsibility. If we flee now, wouldn't that be desertion? Hanju didn't even blink. Then feel free to stay and die a hero. I'll make sure to sing songs of your bravery to Master. Even Menghe dropped the pretense. Hanju's right. Each of the 18 peaks has its own territory to defend in the 10,000 demon realm. This attack isn't just on us. If we want to keep fighting, first we have to survive. Let's go, now. No sooner had they stepped outside than a massive demon beast crushed the entire attic behind them. The stampede wasn't slowing down. Something was wrong. The way the demon beast kept pushing forward, it wasn't random. The cult had to be behind this. Suddenly, Hanju felt a wave of demonic energy flood the air. A massive eagle swooped down, jaws wide open. Without hesitation, Hanju grabbed Chang Yuer and leapt away, dodging it by a hair's breadth. At that exact moment, Menghe broke off and fled without looking back. Hanju grit his teeth. Coward. He just ditched us and ran. Chang Yuer's scream snapped him back to reality. Above us! Hovering in the sky were 7 demon beasts, 1 at the golden core level and 6 more at the peak of Foundation establishment. They dove straight at them. Chang Yuer shut her eyes in despair, convinced this was the end. But Hanjue smiled. 3 glowing sword shadows formed around him, each a different color. It was the 3 pure shadow sword, the very technique he'd received for turning down Li Qingzi's mission. He whispered one word, slash. In an instant, all 7 beasts were cut down midair, obliterated before they hit the ground. Chang Yuer stood frozen. She couldn't believe what she had just seen. Her heart pounded, that look in his eyes. She felt her face flush. Then, just as quickly, the moment shattered. Hanju bent down, grinning. Not a bad haul. These beasts are walking treasure chests. I hear you can trade 'em in for spirit stones. He started packing up the corpses like it was a grocery run. Chang Yuer could only gape. Where's the serious junior brother from before? When they reached the 10,000 Demon Realms teleportation array, Meng, he came sprinting up, eyes wide with joy. You're alive! Thank the heavens! His relief was short-lived. Chang Yuer promptly kicked him in the face. Why couldn't you be the one eaten by demon beasts? Once they were safely out, Hanju wasted no time. He went straight to exchange the beast corpses for spirit stones. Seeing the heavy pouch filled to the brim, he practically sparkled with excitement. Maybe I should head back in for another round. Chang Yuer caught that look in his eyes. Forget it. The 10,000 Demon Realm was created by the sect specifically for raising demon beasts. They're incredibly valuable. Normally hunting them is strictly forbidden. This time's an exception, but don't push your luck. As she spoke, she continued pummeling Meng He on the side. Hanju sighed. Fine, fine. Back to peaceful cultivation it is. I'll just save up the honest way. He glanced at his spirit stones. Still, this might be enough to attempt breaking into the Golden Core. Then, the three of them went to report everything that had happened in the 10,000 Demon Realm to Zixuan Fairy. She listened quietly. When they were done, she simply nodded and dismissed Chang Yuer and Meng He, but asked Hanju to stay. The moment the others left, Hanju's nerves spiked. Is she about to call me out? Is Master still suspicious of me? Will this ever end? Then, without warning, Zixuan Fairy spoke. Hanju, why do you cultivate? He answered without hesitation. For immortality. That caught her off guard. She blinked, momentarily speechless. You think locking yourself away to cultivate endlessly will lead to immortality? That's not how it works. I understand, Master, Hanju said. But I need strength first. Once I'm strong enough, I'll seek opportunities. Inwardly, though, his thoughts were smug. With my talent and luck, who needs opportunities? Zixuan Fairy rubbed her temples, clearly frustrated. I've already arranged one for you. Had you done something worthwhile in the 10,000 Demon Realm, you'd already be a core disciple. But no, you threw that chance away. She paused, eyes narrowing. Also, I still can't figure out the nature of the technique you're cultivating. It's too strange, even for me. Still, she continued, how would you like your own innate spiritual energy cave dwelling? Not just lightning, it contains multiple spiritual elements. Hanju's eyes lit up. Where is it? Near the Jade Pure Sect, she replied. But to claim it, you'll need a place in the top 3 of the intersect competition. Hanju's excitement deflated a little. This competition, it's not dangerous, right? Zixuan Fairy stared at him, fists clenched. I should just punch him. It's a competition, not a death match. You'll survive. Will there be Golden Core level cultivators in it? She practically snapped. Do you think Golden Core cultivators grow on trees? Anyone at that level becomes a core disciple or an elder. Relax. Reassured, Hanju grinned. Then I'll gladly take that cave dwelling. With 8 years until the intersect exam, Hanju got to work immediately. He headed straight for the Wind Spirit Pool, determined to elevate all 6 of his spiritual roots to the 9th level of Foundation establishment before the exam. But just as he began his training, something caught his eye. A group of people ganging up on someone nearby. He glanced over and saw a melon the guy had dropped roll past him. Not my problem. I'm here to train. But then, system notification. Innate destiny detected. View origin. Hanju blinked. Innate destiny? He tapped open the notification. The one being bullied was named Zhou Fan, reincarnation of a great vehicle realm cultivator. Born in an ordinary town, both Zhou Fan and his childhood friend were found to have spiritual roots and brought into the Jade Pure Sect. What no one knew was that deep in his soul rested a powerful spiritual treasure, damaged but slowly healing. That treasure had been shielding Zufan all his life, and now it was beginning to recover. But while it absorbed spiritual energy during cultivation, It also slowed Zhou Fan's progress to a crawl. Once the treasure's restored, he'll awaken. Han Ju stared at him, stunned. A great vehicle realm cultivator in his past life. This guy's basically the protagonist of a novel. He hesitated. He's fated to be the main character. So what now? Helping him might take me places. Han Ju paused mid-thought. No. How many side characters have met tragic ends by getting too close to a protagonist? He shut the idea down immediately. Better to stay out of it. My path to power will come through my own cultivation. He glanced briefly at Zhao Fan. Go on, Chosen One. Walk your destiny without dragging me into it. Time passed in a blink. 8 years flew by. By now, Hanju had pushed all his spiritual roots, except water and earth, which lagged slightly, to the 9th level of foundation establishment. Just as he stepped out of the spirit pool, he spotted Zhou Fan nearby. He was confessing to a girl, and getting friend-zoned. Hard. Hanju rolled his eyes and was about to walk away, when Zhou Fan suddenly called out, Hey, Senior Hanju, right? Hanju stopped. I'm Zhu Fan, from Thunder Peak, he said, jogging up. I've heard a lot about you from Senior Brother M.O. He always says you'll become one of the sect's greatest cultivators. Hanjue raised an eyebrow, preparing himself for a sparring challenge. Instead, Zhou Fan suddenly dropped to his knees. Senior, I've heard you're amazing with women. Please, teach me how to win the heart of the one I love. Hanjue stood there, completely thrown off. Wait, what? He composed himself. Brother Zhou, let me offer you some advice. Forget about love. A true cultivator shouldn't be shackled by such worldly attachments. What are romantic feelings compared to the great Tao? He gestured calmly. Attain the Tao, and the rest will come to you naturally. Have you ever seen me chasing women? No. That path takes inner clarity. Understanding your heart is the key. Zhou Fan looked up at him as if beholding a sage, visibly moved. His goodwill toward Hanju instantly rose. 1 star earned. Fool, Hanju thought smugly. It's all about the looks. Can you even compare to me? Later, when Hanju returned to Jade Seclusion Peak, the sect bell began to chime, a summons for all disciples. On his way to the main hall, he ran into his eldest senior brother. Hanju, the senior asked, do you know someone named Xing Hongshuan? Hanju froze. How does he know about her? The senior brother continued. Over the past few years, I've been assisting the sect leader, operating undercover in the 10,000 demon realm, clashing with the demon cult. All our intel came from a traitor, someone working inside the cult. He lowered his voice. That traitor's name is Xing Hongshuan. Hanju's heart sank. She was forced into spying after being poisoned as a child, the elder went on. But she never accepted her fate. She's always hated the demon cult, and even tried to find an antidote while in the outer sect. Eventually, the sect leader rescued her and made her an inner sect disciple, an exception to the rules. Now, he added, she cultivates on the main peak under Master Jingsu, the sect leader's junior sister. Hanju's breath caught when the senior brother finished. Earlier, we bumped into her. She was asking about someone named Hanju, a servant who used to be an alchemist. He gave Hanju a knowing look. Coincidence, huh? We just happened to have a Hanju here at Jade Seclusion Peak. Caught off guard, Hanju hesitated, then gave a slow nod. Yes, I'm the one she's looking for. That passed, I can't deny it. To his surprise, the eldest brother didn't question him. Instead, he stepped forward and clasped Hanju's shoulder warmly. Don't worry, the eldest brother said warmly. I understand. Just didn't expect you to be this talented, that's all. Hanju finally exhaled in relief. Later, in private, he opened Xing Hongshuan's profile panel through his system. Seeing her level of goodwill, he murmured, I don't deserve this. You've done nothing but stay loyal. I hope your future is free from pain. Soon, all the disciples gathered in the great hall. Sixwan Fairy stood at the front, her voice echoing clearly. The inner sect examination is approaching. Each peak must send at least 10 disciples. Who's ready to enter? Hands shot up across the room. Nearly everyone volunteered without hesitation. Seeing the sea of raised hands, Hanju thought, well, everyone's excited. I guess I should at least act supportive or it'll look weird. But before he could even pretend to raise his hand, Hanju, Zisun Fairy called out, choosing him first. Every head turned. Whispers followed. Hanju broke into a cold sweat. Wait, I didn't even raise my hand. But Swim Fairy didn't even glance at him again. She continued selecting other disciples as if nothing had happened. After the list was finalized, she once again asked Hanju to stay behind. I see your cultivation has improved again, she said calmly. I truly underestimated you. Even while cultivating 3 spiritual roots, your progress is unmatched in the entire sect. Hanju bowed modestly. It's all thanks to your guidance, Master. The credit is yours. She looked at him flatly. Funny, I don't recall teaching you anything. Hanju froze. Your cultivation technique and swordsmanship, they're not part of the Jade Pure sect's core teachings, which means someone else taught you. But I've observed you closely since you arrived. You train hard. You've never acted against the sect. She folded her arms. Other disciples have confirmed you're from the outer sect, which means you came across some kind of opportunity when you were young. She gave a small sigh. That's your fortune. I won't question it. I'm telling you this because I want you to be at ease in the upcoming examination. No one will use your past against you. She paused. To prevent any future issues, starting today, you're officially my direct disciple. Hanju blinked in shock. At that moment, the system notification popped up. Reward, 9 Dragons Demon Subduing Seal, his heart soared. Thank you, Master. May Master live 10,000 years. Back in his cave dwelling, Hanju wasted no time diving into the new technique. The 9 Dragons Demon Subduing Seal was like a palm technique, capable of unleashing different effects based on the spiritual power used. It instantly became one of his trump cards. But the more he practiced, the more he worried. These attacks pack serious force. I have to be careful not to overdo it. Just then, Chang Yue arrived and dragged him to the announcement board. The exam starts tomorrow, she said. One-on-one battles between disciples from all the peaks. It'll narrow down to the top 10. After that, she added, the finals will be held in the inner sect city. The entire sect will be watching. Hanju let out a breath. Good. At least the early matches won't draw a crowd. I don't want too much attention. Just as he was about to leave, someone appeared behind him. Husband? Hanju instinctively stepped back. Miss, you can't just go calling someone that. Xing Hongshuan giggled, covering her mouth. Didn't we make that agreement in the outer sect? Hanju sighed. That was just an act. I only played along because I thought you'd kill me if I didn't. She chuckled and pulled out a small jade bottle. This is the Jade Purity Alchemy, she said. I don't really use it, but it's perfect for you. Before Hanju could refuse, she slipped the elixir into his hand. Just take it, Xing Hongshuan said gently. I get these elixirs regularly. My talent's nothing special, but if you ever need help, husband, I'll do everything I can. With that, she stepped onto her sword and soared away, leaving Hanju standing there, the elixir still in his hand. He stared at it for a long while, completely dazed. Elsewhere, in a dimly lit hall, Xing Hongshuan sat across from Master Jingshu. You gave that boy the Jade Purity Alchemy, Jingshu said calmly. Any regrets? None at all, Xing Hongshuan replied. I've fallen for him, completely. Jingshu frowned. Over a pretty face? Isn't that reason enough? Xing Hongshuan smiled faintly. Besides, his talent's off the charts. When I first met him, he hadn't even started cultivating. Now, the sect leader says he's already at the 9th level of foundation establishment. That fast? Jingshu narrowed her eyes. Then why haven't I heard of him before? The sect leader said he's always holed up in seclusion, low profile, doesn't even accept opportunities, claims he's afraid of dying. That made Jingshu chuckle. Interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on him myself. On the day of the intersect examination, Hanju arrived at the venue and froze. So many people? How am I supposed to stay low-key with this crowd watching? Just then, his system pinged. Intersect examination. Choose your path. 1. Win with flash and flare. Become instantly famous across the Jade Pure sect. Reward. 1,000 high-grade spirit stones. 2. Win quietly. Reach the top 3 with minimal attention. Reward. 1 spiritual treasure. Hanju didn't even hesitate. He picked the second option with a grin. This system knows me too well. There's always a low-key option. It must match the cultivation path I chose. He nodded to himself. This is it. Quiet dominance. I'll stay undefeated and unnoticed. The matches began. Lu Renjia and his sister were in the crowd, curious to see what Hanju would do, but on stage he was dodging awkwardly, barely defending himself. His opponent from Heavenly Execution Peak grew more and more aggressive, convinced victory was in reach. The audience lost interest quickly. One by one, they trickled out to watch other matches. Even the judges started dozing off. Only Lu Renjie caught on. He's faking it. Once the stands were nearly empty, Hanju's eyes gleamed. He slipped behind his opponent, and in a single move, sent him flying out of the ring. The impact jarred the judges awake. Huh? It's over? One muttered. They turned just in time to see Hanju standing alone on stage. Winner, Hanju. He kept the same routine throughout the rounds, staying passive until the crowd thinned out, then striking with precision. Match after match, he secured quiet victories until he'd made it into the top 10. Days later, while cultivating, Hanju paused. The air felt off. The leaves were still. But he could hear wind. Suddenly, tendrils of dark energy slithered through the air, closing in. Hanju didn't flinch. He unleashed the 9 Dragons' demon-subduing seal, sending out waves of spiritual force. The dark energy tried to retreat, but Hanju chased it down like it cost him nothing, hurling seals with relentless power. A cry echoed from the shadows. Wait! Stop! Don't attack! I'm a supreme elder of the Jade Pure sect. Hanju froze, stunned.